Blog Talk Radio.
Here at ACO Radio, American Communications Online, or any affiliated stations or websites are not responsible for what guest hosts or call-ins may say. All programming is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Thank you, Thomas R. Becker of Valdosta, Georgia. He is our famous GM for me as a personal friend of mine in radio. He produces Revolution.radio with his team over there in Valdosta. I'm in Gulf Breeze, Florida, so welcome all you ground troops spinning around smartly on the planet. I'll try not to talk directly into the phone because I have a bad habit of doing that, and I need to get on my cell phones. But in the meantime, I'm going to introduce this and then set it down, and then I'll ask Suzanne if I sound too loud. But I don't know where to put the phone. It's got up and down. Well, this is TJ Morris ET Radio, and we're forming our Psychic Network Club again. And Suzanne of Orange County, California, has agreed to help me. She's been doing this stuff her whole entire life. I've always been considered one and worked in shows, but we both worked we both worked in clubs and we both worked in bookstores and companies. But 2020, there's a call from the universe to get us back out here, and another friend of ours on LinkedIn, an entrepreneur networker, got us together somehow, and it seems to be holding almost a month. So we hope you'll come and listen to us, and then people that call in will get a free mini reading because they're being part of our show, so you can see what we do as readers, and we hope you'll call us at home during this time for a future longer when you need it, and it may be $1, $2, or $3 a minute. We haven't established that because we get along with everybody else in the world, and that's sort of the going rate. So we're getting all that worked out, right? So we're building a spiritual science community, and I have a Patreon. If you want to go to patreon.com/join/Theresa J. Morris and look at what projects I'm willing to work on right now, and you can join my ACO club and help me produce and market and help us do more of these. But in the meantime, we're going to do mini readings, and Suzanne is a great reader. Suzanne Wyman, you may know her around California, but she got married, and it's Flynn now, Flynn, so she's using her maiden name and her married name. So it's going to be Susan Wyman Flynn for all you guys out there keeping up with your psychics in today's world. I'm Theresa J. Morris, but most of y'all know me as TJ. But as a reader, I used my higher self as Tara. And I haven't got to ask Suzanne and get to know her very well, so I'm going to ask her, and I'm going to put Esmond. I'll be back to Esmond in a minute. He called in for a reading, and somebody else did, too. But for Suzanne, so we can get to know each other a little better, sure. Help me out here on, you and me, and live calls are welcome and all of that to do free readings. But we're doing a little 2-hour show, folks, and most of y'all know that over 8 years. But anyway, I sort of have always thought of myself as a precognitionist, Suzanne, because it seemed like I could know things when I didn't have my cards with me, but it saved my life a lot of times. So, I'd like to talk just a few minutes about you and me and what makes us different, and then we'll get on. I used to tell people I like to visit with my psychic or people and then have them come on the last hour, but I came on an hour later so you could come on. Normally I come on at 7, folks, my time, 8 Eastern, but we're going to try it later. But people in New York seem to like me better later anyway, Suzanne, so just... tell people a little bit about how you do things and how long you've been in. It's sort of like the basic introduction to who you are and how they get in touch with you off air. So tell people who you are if you don't mind.
Oh, I'd love it. First of all, thank you, Theresa, for bringing me on and doing the technical work and organizing things and making it super easy for me to just come on and do the creative psychic work. I've worked as a psychic since 1982. I went back to school in 2015 and did a refresher in many areas, doing some intensive seminars. Some of my favorite people to work with at the moment are Carolyn Mays and Gene Houston, Michael Beckwith, and John Asseroff. Those are some of the best, most hardworking people. I consider myself an individual who understands the process of manifestation with great clarity. I've always worked as a psychic. If you look at my chart in astrology, I have a classic basket chart, which is the same sort of chart that Edgar Cayce had, and it is the mark of a healer. It is the mark of an intuitive, and I have the markings on my feet for a humanitarian, and I have the moon markings on my hands, and I also have the markings in my eyes in iridology as to having inherited psychic ability from my father's side of the family. So this is what I do. This is all that I've done. I like to use different tools. I've studied and learned a lot about tarot cards and archetype work, whether it is learning it through Freud's work, and I've also, my specialty, I think, that is one of my greatest pieces of expertise, is doing dream interpretation, the 8 different types of dream interpretation work. I teach dream interpretation work. I have a lot of really great friends that enjoy psychics, support psychics, and I have an artist community. My husband's an artist, and so I have a community of artist friends, and I also have a really great group of lawyer friends, and I have done parties, large parties, small parties, every type of party imaginable, and that is really a great way for somebody who has never gotten a psychic reading and simply wants to have their experience of sampling it. And when I do that type of work, I do palmistry, tarot cards, a teacup reading, and a signature reading, which is actually a form of psychometrization or a cell phone. Working on the phone, I've been working on the phone for, all psychics work on the phone, so that's sort of a natural placement of energy. And in that format, I use the vibration of the person's voice and listen very, very closely to how they describe what's going on in their life today. So I am sort of a workaholic personality in the land of psychics. I don't ever have to struggle to reach for that psychic energy. It's constantly available. I believe in the process of prayer and meditation and mastering meditation. I studied with Alex Lukeman. Alex Lukeman is the person who wrote What Your Dreams Can Teach You. Been republished 9 times, and he is currently the living authority on dream interpretation and what that really means. So, is there anything that I've left out? My grandmother taught me how to read feet. My grandmother also taught me how to read regular cards as a divination tool. And this is really my life. I just do this, and I do it for my work. I do it for my love. I do it for support. I have a great community of people that support and believe in me and encourage me. And the person who put Theresa and I together, which has been kind of an effortless connection, I feel like I know her without ever actually having met her, is a man by the name of Robert Butwin, and he contacted me through LinkedIn. And I was looking for somebody to talk to, and I called up Theresa, and the first thing I said to her, I said, "Are you a psychic?" And that was my very first question out of my mouth. And the conversation feels like it has never really ended. It feels like whenever I start a conversation with her, it doesn't have a beginning, a middle, or an end. It just goes. So I'm in love with that connection today. It's wonderful.
Wow. You're hired.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, really, folks, I can't hire, but I can't fire either. So we're just here, hanging out. Yeah, we're out here in the space. So I hope you guys can tune in. The call in is 347-945-7207. And I enjoy having somebody with me. They always recommend you have a co-host or another person to talk to on Blog Talk. That's how I got trained here at Blog Talk. And another gentleman started me on this, and I never can remember his name. Brett, what was his last name? Brett. Anyway, you can go back if you're interested, go all the way back to the beginning of the shows. And there's a history of 8 years coming up on June, and a lot of them I deleted by mistake one day, including Stan Friedman's on the UFO Association. But anyway, I'm here, and Suzanne's here, and is this your third or fourth show? I should have numbered them, but like a series, but I didn't think to do that. Is this your third or fourth show with me? Do you know?
I think this is our fourth show together.
So we must have started in April, huh? I'll have to go back and look. It lists them, folks, and you can just go down and keep on the bottom of the screen if you go to blogtalkradio.com, and then it's /TJ Morris ET Radio. Go in there. A lot of y'all, they're listening on cell phones. But go in there, and there's a way for you to get on off of the screen. And I used to have Tommy or Janet help me, and Tommy was really good at this. And I used to have some other psychic people that came on to help me. And but Suzanne's volunteered on Thursdays, and we will figure this out, the best way for you guys to get to know she and I. But please write our names down, if you will. Come back and see us. But I know a lot of y'all just call in because you like Blog Talk, too. But we'll get started here and show you how the mini readings are done. And please, if you call in, know that you are being recorded, and they stay right here on Blog Talk for you to hear, or your friends. Or on the right-hand screen, there's a download. You can download them for free to your computer and listen to yourself over and over again. And people around the world have gotten to know me and say they like the psychic ones I did more than any of them, because they can pretty much get news anywhere. But they also like my paranormal and UFO show. So Saturday, I'm doing a paranormal show, well, sort of a mixture, with Ronnie Dawson. We just started. He said permanently on Friday, and I just like him. So, if you want to do a show, I could do 24-hour, but I don't want to be a 24-hour person. So I use live podcasting, and then you can get it 24 hours, so we still qualify. All right, well, that's us. So here we go. It's only about 12 minutes after, so that's not too bad. Let's see, I had Ronnie first. I had Esmond, isn't it, from Cleveland? Is that you, Esmond? You're back on.
Yeah, Esmond, yes.
Okay, well, Esmond, your voice sounds young, but tell me, what can I help you with tonight? Today is Thursday, May 14th, if anybody's keeping up with it. But tell me a little bit about yourself, or whatever it is that you want to let me know, and I'll do a mini reading for you.
I wanted to some information about a lady at work named Robin. She told me a little bit about her situation, that she stays with her baby father and whatnot. I just wanted a little more. What do you pick up from Robin?
Oh, you want to know a specific about a person, so I'm sure that we can try to help you with your situation. I wish I hadn't turned my light off in here. I'm used to doing meditation in here. Turn my light off. But I'm going to pull some cards and see what's up for you, everybody. I do past, present, future, and then sort of a path card. But I've also got a flower card, but that's not going to help you much. But let me see what I get on you. First of all, you're all about wisdom today, which is obviously what the card's saying. It says you're dealing with ending relationships in this particular time in your life, but you're working very hard in, I'll just tell you with the number 9, which to me is completion number, but Suzanne can tell you a little bit about now. The woman did come up, but it seems to be that she's very intelligent, but she's also about money, just so you know. Now, I'm just telling you, folks, I read law of I guess you could say the cosmos, universal. I do Akashic field, but I use these cards with the universe so I can have archetypes to give me an idea. But it shows to me also that you are stuck on decision making, and that's if you could see the cards, it'd be very obvious to you. But it looks like you need to think about your money situation, because I'm getting that the path you're on is not just about her and relationships, but in this day and time that you need to be thinking about your money. And if you want to know, I have to go back into present. Hold on. I'm going to. You want to ask a direct question. Hold on, about a woman and a baby daddy. No, I get that you're moving forward. If you're asking specifically about her and in the present, I didn't ask about the past or the future, but right now I'm getting, with you charging forward, more like a knight, but it shows that you're undecided in the future with a three of wisdom or three of wands, so to speak. So, using your body, mind, spirit, and emotional intelligence, you're asking more about a relationship with a woman at work. So, Suzanne, he's asking more something in your alley, whereas I pull more of a generic all over. But I told you a little bit about what there's universe and me and the cards. But what do you get for Esmond? Esmond, you'll have to talk to her one more time. She likes to get a hit off of the vibration. Go ahead. I'll mute.
Okay. I was gonna say, but I mean, I'll take the overall reading too, just so I could get a better synopsis of what I need to do. But yes. So, what do you need me to?
Can you tell me what the weather's like in your area today?
The weather is about 69. It's raining, but it's a lot better than we had it earlier this week. So it's
Okay, I get it. I really get it. So first of all, the person who you're involved with, you didn't expect to fall in love with this person, and you've fallen in love with this person, and even though you know that she has some sort of a relationship with the person who's the father of her child, you still really want this relationship with this person because you like things that are exact, you like to know where the knowledge is, and you like to be in charge of the information. And this person challenges you in a way that you've never expected. So I think this is a good relationship for you, but you're going to have to take it slow. You're going to have to take your time, get to know this person, and she needs some time to figure out what it is that she needs from this person who's the father of her child. And you really are sitting in an interesting position because although you have a lot of energy for relationships, you really need to be focused on your practical matters, producing money, and being very responsible at this point in time. If you can stay focused on money and responsible between June, July, and August, you'll see that your overall picture with this relationship and your own stability will rapidly improve. But if you allow yourself to sort of not take care of the things you're supposed to take care of, it could be really difficult. So I really want to encourage you to take care of work and business and your responsibilities first. Give her this time she needs to sort out that relationship. She's interested in you. She's quite beautiful and quite interesting. A very complex human being, but you find her inexplicably attractive.
Yeah, she's liking me. She seems like a nice person, kind of more full-figured woman than I'm used to. But she seems okay. But I don't know. I don't know her angle. I don't know if she just wanted to just have a physical relationship. I don't. So we're just trying to figure her out.
Okay, give me a question. You haven't made a question. You've made a commentary. You haven't made a question. So let's get specific, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what kind of relationship? What is she looking for? Because it can't be nothing long term. I don't see nothing long term. Like maybe a long term friend, but I don't see nothing like far as.
Okay. I don't want to be abrupt with you, but I kind of got to ask you. If you're not looking for a long-term relationship and you don't know what you see in her, why would you ask about her? I mean, there must be some reason that you're interested in her enough to ask the question. So what is it that interests you?
It seems like she has a good heart. So that's kind of attractive. But I don't.
We don't minimize that. We don't minimize a big heart, do we? We don't minimize a big heart. I mean, a lot of people can have some great qualities, but having a big heart, that's quite a lovely. That's a lovely gift in the world, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Especially in these times, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think there's an interesting attraction there with this person. And let's give it some time. She does need some time to figure out what her relationship is with the father of her child. And you need to put some effort into, responsibility and money. And let's give it these 3 months and not put any big deals on it, and let's just enjoy it.
Okay.
Enjoy the person. Sounds good to me. Well, just enjoy it and see where it goes on your spiritual, right, on her spiritual journey. And Esmond, just stay in touch with us and let us know how it goes, how your life. But be aware that money is important in this day and time. It came up for her and you too. But that's probably for everybody right now. No, but that's what the cards wanted me to tell you, so that's what I did. So just keep abreast of, keep on top of your financial situation, okay? And every card, you can always call back. I'm here. I got to start saying me and Suzanne. Suzanne and I are here weekly, so just check in and like my show, if you will, and stay in touch. And we'll hopefully have a website up soon that you can join. I've got 38 or so. But anyway, just stay up with TJMRCT Radio. Let us know what's happening with you, okay? And thanks for calling us and stay in touch with us. All right. Thanks, Esmond. Okay. Bye. All right. Let's see here. This one is a Skype call. Let me see who this is. Hi. Can you hear me?
Have we got anybody
actually, yes. I was just listening to the show. That's all.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you sure you don't want to do a short question? Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, let's do a short question. Okay.
What's your first name?
So, this is Terry.
Huh.
From where, Terry?
Yes.
Where are you calling
from? New York. From New York.
Oh, listen to that New York accent. I love it. Talk to Martin.
You sound very familiar to me. It's kind of an interesting thing. Have we talked before?
Yes, we have.
Wow. Okay, so I like your generosity, your kind heart, your forgiving nature, your hard work ethic, and the ability to take care of family members. Put you in any situation. You're the first person to show up, be the leader, and take charge of a situation. People have said you're kind of bossy. You're not bossy. You just know what needs to be done, and you're willing to do the work. You don't have any patience with people that aren't loyal to you. So right now you're trying to make a decision about a money opportunity, and it involves work and further training.
Well, it does. Yes.
Oh,
you are 1,000% right. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So the further training is there. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the further training is there. I'm going to be actually involving myself more in public speaking, and I'm just going to be doing some writing to advance my career. So you're right. So I can land the right job when the opportunity comes to grow in the company. And also, this is the thing, guys. Okay, I'm trying to see what should I do at the beginning of the year. I would love to go back to acting school, but then I'm torn about going to college to pursue my MBA. So I'm unsure. Yeah, but acting, I love to act. But the other one, I don't know. So
I gotta kind of ask you, like, first of all, you're really talented, and you do have the actor on your second chakra. So usually when I see somebody who has the actor on their second chakra, they have difficulty in their relationships, because they're intimate romantic relationships, because the person that they're involved with is very entranced by them, but then they're also sort of put off by the fact that they don't know who they're dealing with. Are they dealing with the person who's the actor and seduces them, or are they dealing with the real person? So you're always supposed to be an actor, but you do need to finish up, you do need to get your advanced degree, because the two worlds are going to really make sense for you next year.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that kind of, all right.
Well, let me see what the cards say this week, because I sort of remembered Terry too, but it's all about wisdom in the cards. You have a higher guide still trying to guide you, but think about, you've got two horses pulling your cart, so you've still got the two-job thing, and somebody is sitting on your money, which is, I always say it that way, because it seems like money is always there for everybody, but it came up in your path with the universe. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you may want to do to help you. Sometimes I'll pull color. It says pleasure. So I've got another set that sometimes I'll pull if I feel like it. But it says to think about pleasure. So maybe look at your purpose. Everybody has a soul purpose when we come down, et cetera, et cetera. But look at what will give you pleasure, because that card's up for you today. And, we're here weekly, Terry, so I appreciate you listening and supporting us. But look at what's going to give you pleasure. But I'm like Suzanne on reads, as far as always get your education anytime it's offered, that you've got the energy and the drive, or if it's up for you. And especially if you can get it paid for, because that's something that will never, well, I should say that I lost some of my credits because I waited too long. But if it's within 20 years, put it all together. But if you're interested, if you're in New York and you're like acting, of course, that's like LA. But there's always, people wanting to do that. But it just, anything that you want to do, please go after it, especially if it's your passion. Because we'll always support everybody, especially entrepreneurs and trying to get into acting, because I'm sure you'd have to go in a lot of auditions. They say out of 100 you may get one callback, but I don't know how true that is. I've been to New York. I put in my stuff, and I was an adult, and I was a corporate CEO, so they looked at me crossways. But I had my own line of clothes and handbags and small other goods and stuff, so I had plenty of things. So I just wound up using my family in my commercials and my newsprint. But, please make sure that you're signed up with an agency. And even if you're going back to school, they'll work around you with that. And there's so much you can do online to complete nowadays. So, don't limit yourself. Do it all. I'm in so much, I wish I could focus on little smaller things, chunks of energy. My thing is being too spread out.
All right.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong phone. Could you hear me?
I'm sorry, Theresa.
Could you hear me at all? Because I had the phone muffled.
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
That's interesting. I had the wrong phone in my hand. I got 3 cell phones, was talking away, had the wrong phone in my hand.
Well.
And the one I called in on, I've got muted, so I'm surprised you could hear me. All right, Terry, well, you hang in there and stay our little actress, our educated actress with us, Terry. And I go by Terry, too, a lot. At least I did in the military, so I like the name Terry. I go by Theresa, Terry, TJ. Just don't call me late for dinner, folks. So I always wanted to be a comedian. I was always the brunette between the 2 blondes and the interpreter, so I never got to be. Well, yeah, I did. I went on stage as a dumb blonde. Yeah, and I got to be on stage with Bob Hope, if anybody remembers who that was.
I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put you back on hold. We got some people here. We got a couple of people. Folks, the call in, if you'd like to be a part of our show, is 347 945-7207. We got a couple, not a lot tonight, but I didn't write it properly probably. I was more
Theresa,
about trying to introduce our new domain. Yeah.
You got a great piece of insight there in saying that, anytime you get a chance, the time and the energy for education, it always pays off. You don't have to have a destination, but education always is rewarded. So that is really just a really good piece of advice for everybody in general.
Yeah, cool. Well, that'll be here for posterity, folks. I love to be educated. 714, you're live and on the air. Where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Huh.
Can you hear us?
Hello. What do we got going on there? I thought for sure we had a number who was going to talk to us. No? Huh.
Okay, well.
Okay,
well, let me try another one. The other 714.
Oh,
714.
There it is. There they are. Teresa, they're right there.
Hello.
Hi.
Stan.
Grab that cell phone.
Stan. Oh,
yeah.
Teresa, this is a good friend of mine, Stan. You'll really like him. And he loves tarot card readers. So go ahead, Stan,
I love
and
them all.
ask her. You love them all. That's true.
Yeah.
Stan is generous, very generous. Teresa, do a tarot card reading for Stan. He's the most appreciative audience of psychics I know.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I got to make sure I got the right 714 on. Randy, is your son coming on tonight?
No, not tonight. No.
Okay.
No,
714. That's a California number, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct. Orange County.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right, Stan. Well, I'm going to do you. Is there anything particular you're looking for tonight, or can I just do a mini? Or you got a question, or how do you want to do it?
You know what? You go right ahead. It'd be fun to have you just have some fun with me.
Okay. That's nice. Okay.
Good. Well, I'm going to do a mini reading, and let me see what comes up. I wish I had turned the light on. I'm in the dark, but I've got a lamp on in my orange, what do they call that, salt lamp. So I can sort of see what I'm doing. All right, because I feel like for you, I don't know why I feel like I'm supposed to have the light on for you. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, you got a short past. I'm going to do a mini like I used to in the old days as a past, present, future. But your present is a lot thicker when I use the cards with the Akashic Field, or we'll say universally.
All right.
But folks, I don't have a lot of people waiting like I did last time. So I'm going to take a little time with Stan because he's an old friend of Suzanne's. Now, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to read sort of your past life energy because I'm curious, even though it's a small, for people, mine and Suzanne's age, this is a very thin stack. So let me see why. You came in from a past life, believe it or not, as an attorney. You really did. And you have the past life as wanting to win. Actually, I don't know what you were wanting to win, but it appears that you have a past life as a woman, but at the same time, you were all about heraldry and winning for your group. Interestingly, I'm watching it. A
woman lawyer. That should be enough. Good night. No.
That's me. I'm not even there yet.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
No, wait. I'm still in your past life cards.
Oh, okay, great.
Because I don't know how you would have been a women lawyer. So I'm looking at it, but it's not in your present cards the way that I read. I mean, the way I separate them. These are your past before you even got here. Okay, these are like lives you've had on the past. But it changes, which probably means sudden death. Okay, that's in your past cards, but no big deal there because you're back here, so you wanted change. But it looks like you were moving forward with haste I wonder what that's about. But it's in negative, but that's okay. All right, let me look at your present. Okay, you've got a lot of stuff you're working on. I think the Justice card in your past life, because I don't think there was too many female attorneys before you got here this time. But it is about heraldry, genealogy, and working on law. But then something drastic happens. You've got the change and the fall and the tower. You know what all that means, I'm sure, if you're into tarot. Now, let's see how you are today. Now, in today's cards, at least the way I pulled it from, the universe, so to speak, it's showing me, if this is true, that you have a lot that you deal with, a whole bunch of stuff, like a whole lot of things, like me. You've always got sort of like a lot of plates you're spinning in the air, but this shows me you've also have in the present that you're a master. So I'm sure you've been told that before, but you're like a master hermit. Now, these are the present cards that the universe is showing me. So you don't reveal everything, but you are about completing in this life. That, again, you're completing, but you're up for anything, but you've got the, I don't know what that means right there. Why are you, well, I won't tell you what the cards are because you're into tarot anyway, but it's just, okay.
No,
so in the present,
you can tell me. Go ahead.
Well, it actually has a woman that is in the present, and she's very mature and very much in charge of her life, and she's very in control of her own money. So that's okay. I mean, that's okay, but I don't know why that would involve your present, but let me see. Unless you've got a woman that is right there. So that might be a very strong woman.
He does. He has a very strong woman in his life who really supports him, believes in him, and encourages him. She knows herself well, and she knows what she wants. Yes, he does.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Yeah. Oh, that's your wife. That's my wife. That's no woman. That's my wife.
Right, yeah. It sure as hell better be my wife.
Well, now let me go to the future, because these are mini readings. In other words, I'm only pulling like 4 cards. Now, the future, these mini ones are sort of short, brief, and to the point, but that's all I ask for. Me personally as your interpreter, you're in between, like call it, the tool, don't shoot the messenger kind of person. So it shows in the future that you have a very high guide wanting to develop more wisdom for you, wanting to help you. That's your higher guide, or like your super conscious. Some people call them angels, some call them ETs. And they're working on abundance, but you've got another high guide. How many do you have? 2.
Spirit guide?
So you're still in your, these are, you got, one's an angel, your high guide, super conscious.
Right, I have a number of spirit guides. I think we all do, but I know for a fact I've got 3 or 4 that I communicate with.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's very obvious in the universe, or at least the universe is telling me, because I'm supposed to interpret, right? Now, they are saying that when you leave this universe, that you are still going to be on your spiritual quest. They're taking you up by choice. So you could have been a minister in this life, but I don't think you chose. So in the future, for some reason, it loops back to a Knights Templar. So I don't know what that's about. So maybe Suzanne knows. But why would the future lead back to your spiritual realm? And it's all about abundance. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's really good. That's really a good one. Okay, so I got the message, and I'm sure you did, Stan. She's talking about the fact of all of the energy and all of the times when you didn't get the chance to fulfill your spiritual energy in past lives shows up in this life, and it takes you into a brand new future. But I don't think it's talking about another lifetime. I think it's talking about this lifetime. You really have nurtured a lot of people in their spiritual energy. You haven't called yourself a minister, but you've worked with more people, connected with more people, and you are involved in masterminding listening to your spirit guides and listening to your higher consciousness. So you have taken and put yourself on a journey of ministering to many people. So that really does apply to your story today. It's interesting.
Okay.
So you think that
all right.
You think that future card, like he was, or could have been, but it's like a Knights Templar energy, but it's like in front of a church with a heart. It's like, you know how you can read the cards and compare them with what you're getting, but it's like he's still supposed to, in the future, bring it back to Knights Templar, but we don't have Knights Templar now, do we? Maybe it's archetype anyway.
But in Stan's work,
Knights Templar. Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That Stan's work is ministering to many people and taking care of many people and taking and carrying out his energy through music. People can often be changed through music where they could not be changed through a process of listening to words. And he has been the person who has created, some great musicians in the world. So he has really changed the world. He's changed the world with music. That's the same sort of spiritual high energy. The world has been changed by what he has mentored, and it has been a huge spiritual evolution. And now he's taking and mentoring his grandchildren as musicians. And we know that the next generation from those grandchildren will be even greater musicians. So, yes, to me that makes perfect sense.
Is it with instruments?
Yeah,
the universe
correct.
I just use tarot for archetypes, but so you use instruments. Are you doing recordings now at your home?
Yeah, my two sons are pretty famous recording artists, and I have been in that all my life also. So this has been. I'm 76 years old, and I started all of this when I was 9. And so it's that whole, and my parents were both musicians, and their parents were musicians. So I mean, it's like this whole thing. We can't get away from it. We can try, but we can't.
Nice. So that is a form. My first ministry was music. I got started as a kid and singing and dancing on TV, so I was always around music. But I never considered it a ministry until I got older and moved to Kentucky, and then wrote bluegrass and country and gospel music and got into BMI. But I didn't know anything about you. But the cards, are pretty archetypal as far as how the energy, and it usually somehow provides a good, I guess, weather barometer, at least past, present, future. But some people believe time is circular anyway, that while we're here on a wheel, if we just wind up coming back, they say, don't go to the light.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Sure.
Well,
sure.
Stan,
So I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Stan, is Tara listening there? I can hear her.
Yes.
Hear her.
Yes, she sure is.
Hey,
yep.
Tara, come forward and get a reading with me today, please.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I'd love that.
Oh, I'd love to have a reading with you.
Hi.
So you have come into a very interesting place by taking and creating the world that you've created, nurturing family, and taking and nurturing Stan, and nurturing what it is in the home. And now you're in a position financially, you're in a position to actually pursue a dream of yours to create a very different understanding of what family is really about. Family is more than friendship, blood relationships, and understanding. Family is really about how we connect to one another spiritually and share that information. So you have evolved. You are in an evolving cycle of your spiritual development. And so it's kind of an interesting thing because you want the material world to work out. Well, the newscast I have for you is that it has worked out, and you are now completely free. You don't have any physical problems, no health issues. You don't have any restrictions on you. You're completely free to really work on your deepest spiritual energy. You've always had a massive number of guides with you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at this guide around you, these guides around you. And there's 28, 32, and then it goes into 42. And then when I look at those numbers.
Do I need
then
that much help?
And then they just become huge. So you carry around all of this spiritual information. It's your point in time now to start dispensing that information and sharing that information with people. You're more than inspired, more than ready, and more than educated in this arena. It's now about practicing and sharing and just giving it out. And it's an interesting point in time. You're being called at this point in time to share your awareness. That's where you're at this point in time. You don't need to give prophetic messages or psychic messages. You simply need to share your awareness and help people come out of this unconscious state and come into the light and bring the light into their body and practice that awareness. So that's where you're at today. So talk about that for a minute. And your phone, you come across as a little bit soft on the phone, so if you could speak up a little bit, it would be great. No problem.
So I don't have the voice of Stan, so yes, I'll have to learn to speak up a little bit here.
So what is going on in your spiritual development that story that I just told you makes sense?
Well, it's always, it seems like evolving. There's always a quest to find more, to find not just truth, but to there's so much out there. It's like I've got to keep searching and finding what else is there, because there's so much. There's so much that you don't learn that you're not told. At least coming from the house I was raised in. And then so it seems like there's just always a quest to find more of that.
But
now
you got some.
I do.
But now the quest is to share that. Now your quest is to share it, because
which we have actually. I have with different friends and and it's really interesting. Like just different friends. Once you kind of bring it up, friends that you thought might be more accepting, all of a sudden they kind of like pull back, and you're like, okay, well, that's fine. But others that you weren't sure about, all of a sudden they're embracing it, which is a wonderful thing. That actually brings you so much closer.
Are you there?
I am. Hello?
So
Hello?
I think I can hear you now. So I think Tara, I think the thing, Tara, is that sometimes when you say something to somebody and it strikes a note with them, they're very uncomfortable because they think, this is what they think, which is not true. They think you know something about their past that they don't like, or you know something that they think is private, and you don't. And if you did, you wouldn't say it. So when you get that sort of a reaction from somebody, remember, it's nothing to do with you. It's just them. And it is easier to work with a receptive audience, but don't let that inhibit you. So, and sometimes you just say to somebody, do I have the right to go deep with you? And so that's my question to you. Do I have the right to go deep with you, Tara? Because what you have going on right now is you have a spiritual wealth that you are supposed to be sharing, and it's about finding an arena to share it in a big way, because you have a lot of information. The home you came from, the family you came from, was not the family that gave you what you needed. That family gave you a story that told you what some human beings are like, so you can protect yourself. It was not supposed to be your family, quote unquote. And it's awareness. It's just awareness. And eventually, you detach from it and you become objective. And if somebody came to you with a story like your family story, you'd be like, I get it. I know that story. Let's just move on to where your strength is. It's to support you and to create deeper understanding for you in the future. It's not meant to be who you are, because you're not that person anymore. You are no longer that person. Okay?
Right, correct. Yes. Yeah. Every once in a while, it can creep up, and you're like, "Oh, get out of here, go away." But yeah, you're correct. I'm not that person any longer.
Thank God. Thank God.
I know.
And,
exactly.
That is it's the nicest thing between you and Stan. You bring out the best in him. He brings out the best in you. And together, the two of you are just really twice as strong, twice as durable, and twice as strong spiritually. And the process of music and nurturing musicians, it's a lot of work to nurture musicians and to nurture their talent and to nurture artists. And you really are the person who is nurturing these people, and you're helping to change the world today.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun being a part of Stan's life. Let's put it that way. It's fun being a part of Bedlam. Yes. Of all of that. It's fun.
So tell me this. I'm going to interject a question. Yeah, I'm in the middle of writing this. I'm in the middle of writing this book. This book called Music, Mayhem, and the Mouse. So, but I'm having trouble getting really into what I should be doing with it, and I finally kind of a realization that I don't like talking about myself or bragging about myself, or a lot of the things that would be in this book would be about my achievements and what have you, and I feel awkward in talking about those things, and I should have more. That's kind of thwarting me right now.
Okay. I think you should do it like a teacher. Don't you think? Because teachers teach from experience. So maybe, are you doing it from a personal autobiography, or are you doing it as a self-help book? No. It depends on your audience.
Yeah. No, it would be, there would be the self-help part of it, for sure, but basically it's just my whole life, my last 40 years, people have always said, you have to write a book, man, you have to write a book. You can't
hide who and what you are under a bushel, and people are more afraid to share their light than they are to share their darkness, because if you share your light and you let your light out, that gives somebody else permission to let their light out. So you're not sharing your light, you're not bragging, you're making it okay for other people to share their success and to share where they are truly illuminated.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. That's a good way.
Is this your first book?
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh, okay. If it's your first book, then decide, because if it's your first book, then it can be an autobiography. So if you want people to know about you, so then it gives you an excuse to write about yourself, because people are asking you to write an autobiography. Because as an investigator, I couldn't write. But people are always saying you should write a book, because they wanted to know about my investigations as an investigator in and out of country and in and out of the world working for rich attorneys. But see, you apparently as a musician know a lot of stuff, so they want to read your autobiography. But me and Suzanne are talking about helping chunks of the psychic world, but help them with sort of how-tos, and you could do that too. It's pretty easy on Kindle these days, right? Putting it on Word, and especially if you choose Pro Tools or the mouse. You mean how do you do it electronically, right? Is because you've already named your book?
No, Stan is.
Yeah,
Theresa
it's just
is a publisher. She's a publisher.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Interesting. Well, Okay, good. Well, if you're also a proofreader, we're in. No, I'm kidding.
I am.
So
I use Grammarly.
Great.
Grammarly.
So it's there's a lot of really fun stuff in it, and I've come up with all these crazy stories of true things that have happened to me since I've been 8 or 9 years old. I was on national TV at 9. And just crazy stuff over the years, in and out of jail, drug addiction, alcohol. I mean, I got the whole thing, girl.
Oh,
So,
this is definitely an autobiography. Then this is your life. So,
yeah.
have you read John Barber's book?
No.
It's real thick. It's Your Mother's Not a, what is it? Your Mother's Not a, oh my God, Virgin. Your Mother's Not a Virgin. That's his autobiography. And you've got, yeah, so yours is sort of on his, he was in television. He had the first, and he's from California. You're bound to know him. You watched him on TV. Hold on. I've got his book right here. I'm getting up and getting it. John Barber is his name, and he started the first television. He was with a lot of people. John, B-A-R-B-O-U-R, Your Mother, S, Not a Virgin. Your Mother's Not a Virgin.
Okay, great. I'll get that for sure.
Yeah, John Barber, and he's a funny guy. And he was with all those big companies and all that, but his it's real thick though. It's very thick. But I find it curious. He sent this to me to read because he was on my television show, and I mean my radio show. But it says the bumpy life and times of the Canadian dropout who changed the face of American TV. Your Mother's Not a Virgin. But he was on. It says in America. He's got when he was with Reagan in here. He labeled each one of his areas. But good lands. This is. I bet yours is going to be like this. This is huge. But he's got people he met, real people. He had the television. So think of it. Sounds like your kind of thing. But I'm so happy. I love it when people are finally the authors of their own life story. That was the last things my mother left me. She was a writer and never a publisher. She was strictly a writer. But she wrote for magazines and books. She wrote a history book in Louisiana.
Wow.
So good for you. 76, but you sound really young. And your wife, Tara,
I'm immature is what I am. So I don't. Actually, I'm actually 16. I've been 16 since I was 16. So that kind of helps.
I played trumpet. My first husband was
trumpet?
a musician. He worked. Yeah, I played trumpet.
Oh, great.
What do you play?
Tuba.
Tuba.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I knew a tuba player. He was real rich. He was the famous plastic surgeon, Dr. John Hill, in Houston.
Wow. Well, now you know a rich one and a poor one. Now you know both.
Well, he's passed over now, but he was very interesting. So, well, Stan,
thank you for coming in,
to know
Sarah.
you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. This has been fun. We'll do it again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we're here. We hope to be here weekly. Come back anytime.
Oh, for sure. We'll do it next week. All right. Okay. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, let us know how that book's going. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to. He was saying something. I cut him off. I hope he'll forgive me. Let's see. 805. Hi, you're live and on the air. Hey, we're having too much fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right. So, let's come back to that one. 805, can you hear us? No. Okay. Theresa.
Oh, they dropped off. Okay, they were. I guess I'm hitting some that weren't calling in. I mean, they just want to listen, folks. I can't tell the difference, so you'll have to forgive me. It doesn't say, "Okay, we're just listening" on the screen. So some people are shy. They don't want to talk. And
I
so
know.
let me see. Hey,
Theresa, talk about yourself for a minute. You're really, you call yourself the keyboard jockey. What tarot deck are you reading from? Talk about yourself for a minute.
I got started in music, which most people don't care, I guess, unless they do like music. So I danced when I was a little girl. I remember my favorite thing was watching Wizard of Oz every year with my mom, and she got me started with art. My grandmother would bring from the paper mill. We were paper mill kids in Monroe, Louisiana. They'd bring home this real long white butcher block type rolls, and we would tear them off in color. So I remember that as a child. And gosh, from that, and then they'd pick me in elementary school to go sing with a group for television and KNOE and Channel 10 El Dorado, Arkansas. So I enjoyed that. So I learned about music and how to write music back then. And we would put in elementary school, my grandmother paid for a piano teacher to come, $5 a month or $5 a week. It must have been a month for once a week piano lessons in the recreation room of the school. But I had a good childhood with music, and I think everybody should have music and PE. I loved PE in school. But, as far as life growing up in the South, Monroe, Louisiana, and then my mother and father divorced when I was in high school, ninth grade, and we moved to Houston. We were going to Dallas the weekend that Kennedy got shot. We were going to, I'll never forget that. So I was supposed to be in Six Flags, but they canceled it because he was coming into Dallas. There was a big controversy. We were really looking forward to skipping school, but November, right? So that changed my life entirely. But as far as the tarot decks, I've got 3 here. They're just the standards. And it depends on who calls in as to which ones I use and what I feel drawn to, because I'm just doing mini readings, folks. But I am going to do my best to come back and help people. But over time, how I learned to make money for myself after my husband worked at NASA and was a musician. He was in the Local 65 in Houston. I never joined because I wasn't that professional. I was just band level trumpet player. But I did get to stand in front of the whole school on the stage and play 3 jets with me and my boyfriend, Victor Banks, and Stephen Lee Parrish, and my future husband. So I was the only woman, and I had on a green sparkly dress. I remember that. And I just think it gives people another language, and that's important, folks, to know another language. And you really don't realize it. And I guess unless you haven't had it, I don't know, maybe you don't realize it at all if you've never had it. But I learned to read and write from the time I was in elementary school, and that my elementary school years mean more to me than my high school. I mean, I had more fun in high school, but, see Jane and see Tom and Susan, those little readers. But the music in elementary and junior high school was so important, and then PE. And I was really disenchanted in coming into this century when the children at high school, they didn't have to do PE. It was like it was required. I don't know. Was it required for you, Suzanne, to do PE?
Yes. No option.
I think they should put that back in. I wish the universe would listen to us and let us help everybody with, everybody and what's best. But as far as you mentioned me being a publisher, I got into that because we were born into the paper mill business, and then my mom being a writer, and then she wanted to publish some books, and I knew how to use computers. She did too. She was a lot better than me. But I started publishing books. I had to do 12 to be a publisher, 12 or 21. Maybe it was 20. I think it was 21, actually. Anyway, I had to have that many books. And then once I got that, it was easy to become a publisher back in the day. But then, and anybody in music can appreciate this, but with music, I was involved when we went online, we have iTunes now, but if you remember the big Microsoft and Apple wars, but Microsoft and Bill Gates and all that came from us being desktop publishers, more writers. And then Apple came along, and I think Wozniak and Gates, not Bill Gates. Bill Gates is Microsoft. Who's the other guy? I put him in one of my books, not Steve Wozniak, the other guy, the real famous guy. Steve Jobs.
I don't know.
But Steve Jobs went and helped advocate because I had put $85,000 pretty much into my own personal life after I got off the road being a truck driver, and I wrote songs and went and recorded it in $500 hour, an hour for the Bright Engineering and all that in Nashville. But I got at least 2 CDs done, DVDs. You used to have to put 10 minimum on a CD. But Steve Jobs, people we couldn't get on. We had to go to CD Baby and get stuff done. And then I recorded some songs for other people, like I did. One of my favorite song, I think, is by James Taylor, You've Got a Friend. So I recorded that. But you had to get right, so I had to go through all that. But anyway, I spent a lot of money after myself being a singer-songwriter. And that, when I was up there, that's how I got radio to do commercials. So I got paid to make commercials. But in Houston, I worked on Whataburger jingle, and a lot of my friends were famous because my husband, being he knew a lot of people like Doc Severinsen, and they played a lot with Girl Like Entertainment and brought him into Houston. And he happened to have 5 scholarships with the state of Texas. And so he could pick and choose, but the Vietnam War came along. So that's why he went to work for NASA. Chris Kraft hired him. He was like straight A and had 5 scholarships, and yet he was up for enlistment on the E-1 thing. So he chose to go, and NASA hired him, and we had a baby, so that kept him out. But he's always great in music, and just always. Music is important, folks. Now, all this stuff we do with working with the Akashic Field and zero-point energy and quantum physics and psychics and precogs and all that, that's an important aspect of being who you are, but your whole life story. And we always say you are the author of your own life story. And then people that come to work or come to be in my group or my club or my community, I always tell them the first thing I want you to do is write your book up to now. And then I want them to write a book about their future because I love science fiction. And I want to see how they think their future is going to be 100 years from now. So keep that in mind. 2 books you can write automatically for me, or if you want me to edit them and help you. One is your autobiography, and the second one is how you see the future because I love science fiction. So I work with people about the future. Now, what about you, Suzanne? What books have you written or are you working on now?
I have taken and I'm going to take one out of the drawer and show it to you, and it's the accumulated knowledge I got from my grandmother teaching me how to read feet. Reading feet in America is not as well understood or even acknowledged as it is like in India and in Israel. Reading feet is considered it's a divination art like palmistry or tarot cards. It's just as important. But in this country, this part of the country, it's just not as well understood. So I did put that information together, and that is the only thing that I've actually done. And I you know what? I tell you the truth, I've been so busy going to work, I haven't taken the time to sit down and write. But it is important, and I really do believe in my books. I don't know who I would be today without my love of books, my passion for books, and my ability to enjoy reading. That's something I think that has sort of shifted. People don't pleasure read. I see the signs in New York on the subway. It says, bring back the tradition of reading on the subway, which is a New York tradition. So, yeah, reading is... New York is really the
internet
area.
And the internet had a lot to do with it, unless you're going to college on the internet. Folks, it's same thing in music with Pro Tools, because 15 or 20 years ago we were using Pro Tools as our software. And I haven't been recording music live or making CDs since 2005. So how many years? 15 years. I don't even have any clue how they do that anymore. I'd have to go online and research. I'll put it in here, recording tools. But I know one of the girls came on last week and said she was using Pro Tools. Right? Yeah. Recording software. So
do we have anybody else listening? Nope, it's just us. Okay. Yeah?
Well, hold on just a minute. I could check.
Okay.
It'd be nice to check. Recording free software. I know people now are all going. Their books are doing the e-books now, and they're doing audio books. So that's sort of what I do here too. But let me refresh my screen. Hold on, I've got to refresh my studio. It's all done online, folks. Even my studio that goes up to New York and over to Oregon and D.C. It flops around on the satellites. I think this is your 714. 714-404. Are you back, or can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi. Are you just listening or hanging out with us? Go ahead.
Well, I can do either. Yes. How are you?
Really good, Angela. This is my friend Theresa. Theresa, this is Angela. And Angela is another person who was raised in an atmosphere of knowing psychics and using intuitives and mediums, and she has the gift of doing hands-on healing, and she has the marks in her hands from Christ, the Christ markings in her hands, and it's been a journey. I've been trying to get her to do the healing work and work as a healer, and I've had no progress, none. So she's been too busy.
Did you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's been too busy working.
She's been too busy. Well, that Mr. Yusui, I learned Reiki. Some call it Reiki. Depends on your. I guess who taught you. Which way do you go, Reiki or Reiki?
We had, you know what, Angela had an entire tribe of Reiki worker friends. That still didn't get her off the dime to go to work on becoming a healer in her own right. Reiki healers, Reiki masters, Reiki students are by the thousands in America. In California in particular, nurses are Reiki healers. I mean, phlebotomists, lawyers, everybody. Oh, my gosh. We've got more Reiki healers in California, I think, than any other place in the world.
Well, when I was doing readings, I felt awkward with them sitting up next to me, and I had to go learn what they were doing just sitting there. But they were in Hawaii. They could actually touch. I don't know if they can in California because every state's different. But they were in Hawaii. They were actually putting their hands on healing. Not like now when I was teaching with the Psychic Network and the Spiritual Center, we did we put our hands? I know when we did like a laying on of hands on the head, we did that, put a person in the middle, and then we would do our superconscious work and do prayer and meditation, healing that way. But I know the laws are they're not as bad as they were back then. So I don't know what all the laws are, but I do think that it's important that we figure all this out for future assistance. But I'd like to tell everybody they all have the same skills and gifts. It's just, I guess we have to perfect them. Maybe it's that some of us don't want to, I don't know. I was teaching, Suzanne, but you're the one pulling me back in, so maybe that's your gig, is pulling people back into the business. Because I've got to re-up myself. I don't know what's what anymore.
So, Angela, talk about yourself and how you are somebody who takes and, you meet with different, you want to do the oils and the farming and the collecting of your herbs, and you're into all of it. Yeah.
I am. I've recently found a book that I've totally connected with.
Oh, good.
It's called The Green Witch, and I think it just is connecting with me because it just it talks about how, not in your stereotypical terms as far as witchcraft or witchery, but just a green witch being someone who just practices. They're very solidary, and it's just the connection with everything, with the earth and the air and the people and around you. It's not necessarily a structured practice that you do. It really is just how you connect and interact with all of the elements, and respect or the green witch, respect and kind of how you work with them. And so I mean, so far it's just something that has kind of just been. It feels connected. It feels like, oh, this makes sense to me now. This definitely feels comfortable to me.
Are you reading Are you reading the one that's free on who is the guy? Roland.
I actually ordered it, so I'm reading a tangible book.
Wow!
And it's
you're serious.
I like to touch and hold it. It's Erin Murphy Hiscock.
That's how I would say it, Hiscock. So The Green Witch, your complete guide to the natural magic of herbs, flowers, essential oils, and more.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
It's not big, it's not huge, but it spoke to me.
Okay, cool. Really cool. That's really nice to hear. And so so now I like to insert myself into the conversation. And what about the experience of when you hold up your hands and you experience that healing energy in your hands? Are you applying it to someone or to something? Are you putting it into a prayer? Because you have that energy available to you in a very easy, effortless, sort of direct way. And I'm kind of seeing if I can get you focused enough to use it for yourself and for other people you love.
Yes, I'm as far as applying it with the hands yet, I have to honestly say I'm not there. I am, I think, just becoming more comfortable with verbally, giving some guidance to friends and family and love, when something's going on and to try, as we say, with the foods and the herbs and the oils and giving some guidance that way. I'm getting more comfortable in my skin with that, and working on still just trying to connect with everything else and getting a better, I think, just comfort level with it, feeling of it.
So, I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you called in.
Angela,
because she gives us a whole new thing. Go ahead.
So, yeah, Angela, you want Theresa to do a tarot card pull for you? She pulls cards.
Yeah, that would be great. Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Okay. Well, I can do that. These are just little mini readings, but sometimes it depends on the reader you go to and the time. It all relates. It's all subjective. But I love doing it, but I haven't been doing it for a while. But Suzanne's pulling me back into it again. They actually were my esoteric psychic readings were the best shows, the ones that get the most, more than UFOs or paranormal. But I try to do a little bit of everything that's on the paranormal desk and research. But all right, well let me do these. Can I try some of these other ones that I've got that I haven't been using either? I mean, I've been doing this since the 80s. It's not like I'm new at it, but what it is I sort of laid my tools down. But you can tell from radio shows here, go back and if you can figure out by the names, because of which shows are of readings. But let's do one. Okay, now I'm just going to do a generic, but some people don't get that. But I'm old school and do the past, present, future. But in today's, theory of everything and 0-point energy and all that, a lot of people are realizing that we're traveling and spinning on one planet together through space, and they're getting that this isn't the only reality. But I'm still going to do the way I do it, which is past, present, future. But I'm going to try to add in some more cards. Let me see what. Well, first of all, you must be very blended because all the cards won't stay. They're all going everywhere. I'm trying to get your past, present, and future. Okay, let me try one more time. I wonder why that is. Okay, let me try one more time. Maybe they want you to go into the future. Let's see. You must be very eclectic. Hold on. Let's see. Let me try one more time. I'm trying to do it the old way. All right. I'm going to just do basically a quick mini reading as a past with just like some major topics in your past. But it shows all of it's good. This would be past lives that you've always been, wow, really? Okay. I guess you've always been one spiritual, but for travel. It shows me that now these are your past lives I'm looking at, but yours are about even, past, present, and future. The universe speaking to me just being a speaker for this, but it shows travel in your past. Your spirit was about climbing the mountaintop, and it's a very good card for money and abundance, but apparently you got married in a past life, because it shows me that you're with a gentleman that was all about equal. So that's not a bad thing coming into this reality. Now, this is dealing with time, the old way we used to do, which I still use, past, present, future, but I was trained by some of the best in the early 80s, but some ladies passed me their energy because they were passing. Now, the present, I wonder why you've got a gentleman. All right. There's a change card right now as we speak in the present. Okay, there's a gentleman in your life. He's all about being who he is, very fatherly, very in charge of his life. But then there's another younger man. I don't know if it's a son or a younger husband, but he's all about making money. He's all about the money attitude, but he's in charge too. But it shows that you want to go towards, and this is the present, being a stronger woman yourself, having the wisdom, and it shows a very older queen looking up. But I'm going to pull the future. Let me see the future. What is that? Oh, you're carrying a lot. I see what you're doing. You're carrying a lot right now. You've got a lot on your mind because you're carrying a big load. So I don't know who that's for, but it shows.
No, that's true. That's what's going on for her right now. That's very, very true. Yes.
Okay. And then the future looks beautiful. Darn. You got MasterCards. You haven't even started your full potential yet. Ooh, I got chills. Dang, you're really powerful for the future. You got MasterCards going on, even pointing. I've got even the Hierophant for you and the Fool. And these are in my business, are in tarot cards. These are really powerful in the sun. But you were really, oh my gosh. So all you have to do is realize that even on your path card, why you've got such powerful cards, is you haven't even begun yet. So you're a late bloomer, what they call a late bloomer, at least in tarot card readings. But your future is all about, you can be anything. You've got the most powerful cards in the deck. As far as I'm concerned, other tarot readers may disagree, but I do because I'm looking at them. A lot of gold, a lot of sunlight. There's a beautiful butterfly, but you'll know the Fool. You can be anything you want to be. And the Hierophant pointing you the direction as to, it's all about spiritual. We're all about mind, body, spirit, and emotional intelligence. But the future has you working among various different teams and groups, but you are going to be, I'm going to pull one more in the future. Ooh. Okay, so it has something to do with the future in the exchange of how the world's going from not just science and religion. Is apparently the future has you being one of the people that works out the difference in the world religions and being paid, which is sort of like how you get paid like a psychic instead of your time. You get paid for your time on Earth because we've only got so many seconds. And we can all get paid for. So that's been part of the future, is you're helping people figure out how they can all work together, because you're one of those really high people that are going to bloom late. So you're going to be able to help people solve all their problems and get in between them and explain that you can get paid for education, you can get paid for wisdom, you can get paid for psychic intelligence work. You can be a spiritual science person. And you, on your path, because of where it is changing. The universe is changing in the whole city and community. So that future has a really powerful calling for you. But let me look. I want to see something over here because I haven't used these cards at all, but I want to see what the universe will say for you since you're allowing me to try them out. I've got two. Well, I'll leave that one. That was sort of masculine. I'm going to go towards the female. I want to see what they say. Trust. Okay. So trusting yourself is going to be a big part of who you are and why you are. Pull the white rose, but it's got you working on America made in the USA, we are great, the American flag, the American eagle, but you're balancing like a ballerina, but she's on her toes, and she has balance, her arm down, which would be your healing Reiki stuff, and up overhead, she's got her left arm sending and receiving, and very much on trust. So maybe you could learn how to balance the world with the future. I wouldn't say go into politics, but if there's something you can do in the spiritual community, balancing the lower earth with the higher dimensions, but somehow you've got to learn how to use the trust factor. That's a high calling.
Angela, tell her what the company you work for, what they do.
Well, I work for a family company who has 4 businesses that are all related in sales and distribution, and it's basically the bulk of it revolves around tanks, like your chemical, your food grade, your water, municipalities, all of that.
So she's working in the 11th house, Theresa, where she's working with city municipalities, the government, and she's taking and making a product that makes the world better with a very honorable, hardworking family that treats her not like just a family member, but they treat her like somebody who deserves love, respect, money, privacy, time. She vacations and travels. You've spelled out her story as it is today. The only thing that is holding her back is that she doubts her own spiritual ability. She's supposed to be a person who practices, but I haven't been able to get her to budge, and I've spent a lot of time on it, a lot.
Well, that new deck was the one that sort of brought my whole old school past, present, future together, and I wanted to try them out. Because in the old days, they were too far advanced. But that was the card that showed me, I just pulled one with her balancing like with the white rose, but the, America and the justice and all that. She had the eagles and a flag. It's a really interesting deck, and I couldn't even tell you the name of it anymore. I don't even know if they do it anymore. But it's subconsciously, it's one of the newer type decks, where I don't know if it's because people didn't learn the arcane or the Scani or the old way, but
right.
That one that was the last one I pulled, but it said a lot, but it's awfully powerful. Just a very powerful card about trust. But remember that white rose, because this deck has something to do with the foundation of our history and in the universe. But trust in the white rose, and very beautiful card. So you're really going to be helping all of us, but I guess you're going to help do all that is coming in the future. So it is a balance. So I guess you will be like it's a beautiful feminine card. I mean, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's a woman, and she's actually bent down.
We just put in the offer to move to Fallbrook, which should go. I've just decided it will happen in the very near future. To a new property that's going to be on over an acre and give me a huge, just a huge place to grow things and connect. I mean, forget the job part that I get to work with, but I will have every bit of land and property around me that I could ever want.
Wow. Well, maybe you'll be working with all the things that grow too, but how do we solve it with the government and the way the chemicals? There's got to be a happy medium.
Yeah.
And I guess you're going to be one of those. Maybe that's why it's showing you're a late bloomer with your MasterCards, in the old school. But you got some beautiful, your future is awesome. Man,
I know.
I mean, you're powerful.
Well, thank you.
Very, very golden, enlightened human being. So I don't think it's so much about education with you as the trust, but the balance with the government, all those eagles and the flag. How do they put all that in the same card? Unless I'm just totally out of my mind or something in the next level of existence. Sometimes you can do that. I'm called, what do they call me? Biolocator, universally. You can slip into another reality. It's like watching television, but the cards are moving. sort of like being a hologram on Star Trek. Sometimes I go to the holodeck. But no, I'm just learning to use that deck, but it looked very powerful to me.
So, Angela, do you have a dream that we can interpret? Because we've got a little time here.
I don't have a dream handy. No, sorry.
You won't give it up, huh? You're holding out on me, huh?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. You know, you're not supposed to know that, but yes, you know, I woke up with a very strange one that I didn't write down because it bothered me. So yes, no.
Come on, it's always a good dream. When you
know, we should have a dream show, because right now, wouldn't it be fun to hear what people are dreaming during this time on the planet? Because we're all going through transition.
Yeah, and I'm scrambling trying to remember what it was. I just remember it was there was like death and weird stuff involved, and it was very odd, and I did not write it down.
Yeah.
I haven't been writing mine down, but that's why I think Suzanne came into my life, because she really wants to do this work, and I guess she was looking for somebody to also team with her. She's building teams for a whole new reality. I don't know what she's doing, but I know that we got together, so it's pretty curious to me what's going on.
Got a lot of people in my life that have talent, and they're ready to go to another stage. Angela's ready to go to another stage. Stan's ready to go to another stage. Tara's ready to go to another stage. My husband's ready to go to another stage. My daughter, my son, everybody around me is ready to go to the next stage. And it's so funny because I remember, like, in November of last year, one morning I woke up and I said, gosh, I will certainly be glad when this stage of the transition has passed. And I thought, that's a pretty strange thought to have first thing in the morning. But that was my first thought. I was, like, so exasperated. I was like, oh, I can just hardly wait for this part of the transition to be over with. But every single person I am connected with at the moment is working towards a transition to make something happen. And I do have the ability to sort of, I mean, Angela, you know, she was in this job, and I said, Angela, just apply to another job, and let's see if you can get another job. And she said, oh, there's nothing out there. Nobody's going to be hiring. And I go, just go ahead and do it. And she didn't even really give it her full effort. She just said, just send that out.
Not at all.
Tell the story.
Yeah, it was a bad effort. It truly was. It was just one of those random online. Yeah, well, it was just one of those random online applications. I didn't give it my full attention. I filled it out. They came back to me with more questions. I gave it a tad bit of attention, and I filled it out. And I was called in for an interview, and I almost didn't go because I looked at what looked like their website, and it looked like a huge corporation, and I don't fit in those. I went on a whim, and I spent, 3 hours in front of the husband and wife and the dog, and I walked out with a job that I've been at ever since.
Wow.
The best is that she was working a job where she had to take and work another job, and so she's working 2 jobs, and she's helping her divorced brother with his kids. And, I mean, she just had all these people she was taking care of, and she's working these jobs. And I'm like, you got to get one job that's going to pay you for what you're worth, Angela. And she was just like, not going to happen. I was like, just try. And that was my whole mantra behind her. And the job that she went to work for this company. And the first thing that happened is that she's working in one city and she's traveling to another place. And the great gas hike went on, and gas was like $5 a gallon. And they said, well, she never asked them. They just came to her and they said, we think you should have this money so you don't have to worry about money for gas. And then they gave her an apartment in the office building.
In the office.
And then they gave her 8 weeks of vacation time. And then she said, I need this. And they said, well, just go ahead and take care of it. Just buy it. Absolutely. And she goes, I don't like how they clean. Get somebody else to clean. And so they treat her like the queen that she is. They love her.
Wow.
And it's the best job she's ever had. And she makes enough money to go to the grocery store and buy anything she wants and get organic groceries if she wants. And she gets all organic. Mm-hmm. And she's just living this life that was supposed to be hers. Right?
No,
like
it's
a
been
perfect life.
it is. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, this move will be, I was asked if this was a good thing. I mean, this is their choice, but I was asked if I would go, and if I wasn't going, I don't know that it would happen. And I was brought in to look at the piece of property, and is this something I want? And in that, I mean, when I say that, once again, I will have built for me at the office an apartment.
My dog heard something outside. Well, we got 2 more people hanging on.
Okay, cool.
Angela,
okay,
I guess.
thank you.
Come back again.
Okay.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
you can hang around. We may get back to you, but
Okay.
412, you're live. 412, you want to share something or why you're?
Hey, you guys there?
You're.
Yeah.
How you
hey,
doing
who's
tonight?
this? Good. Who's this? Your first name?
Yeah. Who are you and where are you calling from?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Go? I can hear you perfectly. I don't know what happened to our caller. 412,
can you hear me? Well, hold on a minute. I'm turning everything off on my computer. Oh, 714. Oh, that was your friend.
Uh-huh.
Well, hold on. Why can't we hear 412? 412, when she hung up, it was a man too. You can hear me? Well, let me 412. We can't hear you right now, but maybe you'll click on in a minute. You're on live. 949. You're live and on the air. Can you get on?
Hi. Who is this? Hey, I wonder who it is.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
That's There.
Hi.
Okay, go.
Who's this?
Hello.
Hi, I can just barely hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, Stephanie?
No. maybe
Who is
maybe it's Sharon.
Oh, Sharon, how are you? You called.
I'm
What
good.
a treat.
I'm good.
Oh, good.
But
Now I can hear you.
Maybe I'm supposed to be Stephanie.
No. I simply could not hear you, and I was guessing, truly guessing. How nice of you to call.
I was listening to your show, and she said 949, and I just decided to answer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I loved your last caller.
Oh, you know what?
That was so amazing.
Angela. Angela actually has, when I sat down and I did Brew Joy's dyad exercises, I could actually see that she had the 2 points in the center of her palm to send white light through, and she was like, she couldn't see it, and she always doubts it. And I'm like, Angela, you're supposed to be this hands-on healer. It's okay to do it, but I don't know. You know what can you do? I try and encourage people, and I've spent a lot of time, talking to her, and people say that I get excited and I get them energized and stuff like that, but I love it. I just love everything about it. But you're definitely a person who has a better understanding of how psychics work, and you've been able to use psychics as a support system for your life. So, share a story, any story you like, Sharon, anything you want. We'd love to hear it.
Anything I want.
Anything you want. Anything you'd like to share.
I don't know. I think I shared out. I'm oversharing. Let's see. I don't know. I did have this weird dream. It's kind of weird.
Oh, good. Okay, let's do it.
It wasn't have a nightmare or anything, but it was just strange. I have a lot of strange dreams. Let's see. I don't know how to start this. You know how I'm always all over the place.
Just start. It's okay.
Just start.
Just start.
in the dream, I was with some people that I had worked with in my job.
Okay, so the first theme of the theme of the dream is going to be about the inner work that you've done on yourself and how it has given you a better understanding of the true purpose of your life. That is the theme of your dream. The dream is going to go through different pieces and explain that to your subconscious state in order to assist you with a prayer you have going on at the moment.
Okay.
So continue on.
Okay. I was discussing with someone the following story. One of the men that I had worked with had a baby boy that he couldn't keep.
Okay.
And so his cousin that I also knew well went to an out-of-state bank and she brought back money to buy the baby. And she married him with the money, but he didn't want to marry her.
Okay.
The baby is now a toddler. I don't know where that comes in, but she was so happy, and the baby was happy. We thought that she shouldn't have done it, the people I was discussing this with, and that she made a mistake.
Okay.
And we were in a room, like a meeting room, but it had a table that some people were sitting at. It was a bright room with white walls, and there were lots of children in the room. They were toddlers, and there was like a floating banana-shaped table that they were standing at. The table moved around the room, and it looked like white paper. And it had cutouts, and they were banging on the cutouts like drums and laughing and giggling, and they were very happy. That's my dream.
Okay, so take me back to the part of the dream where you talk about the baby
wait, I didn't
boy.
Finish.
Okay.
I didn't finish. I just turned the page. So I was feeling really happy for the little boy because he seemed so happy. But the parents were in another part of the room. They were sitting at a table and eating. And Debbie and I and the cousin were walking with the children, enjoying them, helping them, especially the little boy we were enjoying who was so full of joy. He reminded me of my grandson as a toddler. And I went to tell him how good he was, and he was so happy, and I cut out some more paper to make the floating table better. And some men at the table told me to get out of the way. They were filming it on TV. They were sitting at a white folding table with a lot of wires and machines, and then I woke up.
Okay. Take me back to the early part of the dream where you tell me about the baby boy being sold.
Okay.
Tell me that part over again.
I was discussing it with some other people because one of the men had a baby boy that he said he couldn't keep.
Okay. So the baby boy that couldn't be kept is the part of you that feels like your male energy as a child was compromised and not understood and not supported within your family structure. Talking about the male energy of you as a young child, okay?
Right, yes.
Okay.
Which I had a lot of.
Right, you did. And you still do. You have really, really good. But then the dream goes on and it talks about the bank. And the bank is not the bank is the bank of energy. It is your own energy. Okay? So when you talk when you talk about the bank, tell me that part of the dream over again, please.
I remember that his cousin, the lady, she had to go to an out-of-state bank.
Okay.
And
So out of state is another state of consciousness. Had to go out of state is the way of your subconscious telling you have to go into another state to access the bank of energy that sits in reserve.
Right.
Okay. So now go on that part of the dream. Go on to that part again, because it's quite a specific dream that tells you how you can access this energy and this information in order to make the change that you want, in order to leave a legacy of what your real energy is really about. That's what the story is about. The story is about, reclaiming energy that you lost and being able to put it together as a resource so you benefit yourself.
I see. That makes sense.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So we can go through any of the details. When you talk about talking with these other people, these are the parts of yourself that you have disconnected from, so that you could be more focused in your one mindset and your one place. So that's what, I talked to somebody, or there were other people in the room, and there was a meeting. And so now you're asking of yourself to make sense of a story from your childhood, to make sense of why your life unfolded the way it did, and what is it that you leave for your children and your grandchildren.
You've got another 714. I don't know if this is somebody, a friend of yours. 714-404-51.
Oh, that's Angela listening. That's just Angela. That's Angela.
Well,
listening.
she's on.
Is she? Angela, are you there? She's just listening.
Okay. Oh, she dropped. Okay.
Okay.
She got off, I guess.
So
Sharon, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, Sharon, tell me the last of the dream again, because that's the part that I like the best.
Oh, let's see.
412's still here. If you can coax him into talking again.
Okay.
Let's see. Some parents were in another part of the room eating, and I was talking with Debbie. Oh, Debbie and I were walking with the children, enjoying them and helping them, especially the little boy who was full of joy, who reminded me of my grandson as a toddler.
Okay. So the end of the dream tells you that by understanding how you're connected to other people, you're able to bring joy really deeply into your life, and you're able to actually have happiness in the joy and the connection with other people. So it's a beautiful conclusion, an interesting dream, and you're welcome. I'd like to go over it in detail with you, so I'm sure to give you the full benefit of it. But it's a really positive dream that you have there, very positive.
Well, everything you said makes perfect sense to me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Does she know how to get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Because that's awesome. Okay, so you are a dream interpreter. So, folks, Suzanne is a dream interpreter, and I have a few dream masters, and they do seem to come from California. So, very interesting. So, 412 dropped. So I couldn't hear him, so he finally dropped.
Oh.
So I apologize. I hope he calls back in. For some reason, I put him on, but I just couldn't get him to get on. I heard him say something, and then he went away. So I apologize, Suzanne, for that.
Oh, no. Sharon, would you like to have Theresa pull a card for you?
Certainly.
I would.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Would you like to do that? Would just pull. You don't have to pull a lot of cards. You can just pull one card for Sharon. Sharon is wonderful. I enjoy her so much.
Yeah. Well, let me do a quick. I don't see anybody else here, so I guess she'll close out the show if that's okay. I don't see folks. You can reach Suzanne, but Suzanne, while I'm shuffling, go ahead and tell people how to reach you.
Oh, you can call me at 714-400-7384. Leave me a message, and I'll call you back. You can write to me. I call myself the Deep Psychic, and it's called the Deep Psychic Reading at gmail.com. And that's the best way to get in touch with me.
Okay. And everybody, you can get in touch with me, TJ Morris Agency at gmail.com. I've got a bunch of business ones because you have to have them these days, TJ at TheresaJMorris.com. But I'm just getting back to work, and Suzanne's the one encouraging me to do that. So hopefully we'll build our psychic channel network again and all of our friends. Now, we do have acoclub.app up, but it just says Soul Self, and I'll build that. I'm going to build probably Psychic Network back up. But let's see what cards I have let's see here. Well, there they go again. Wow, you had some master people on tonight, friends of yours, and I put that for mini readings. So I guess you're building a nation. That's all I can figure out. It's something I've been trying to do for 8 years with other people, but, we train them and they all go do their own thing because we're in this time on the planet where we have the networks, cyberspace. Now, I like to do the old way, and then I'll pull a new card too, but it shows actually this lady was a magician, metaphysician in her past life, and it's rather new, and she was all about money and abundance, but it shows that she worked very hard for it. But it always made her wonder what else she could be, so probably why she came back. Because even though she was a very powerful musician, metaphysician, money came easy to her. Now, these are your past cards from the old school, as we call them, past, present, future, even though we're using archetypes with the tarot. Now, presently, it shows major change, no surprise. The standard tarot deck, which I'm learning in Law of 78, which says major and minor arcana. But for some reason, the people in the last couple of weeks or third week, they're all, the spiritual mountain is coming up for them, climbing the mountain for metaphysics, but it still shows your past energy of 8 and Pentacles bronze over for now the present abundance. So you're all about, the present is all about abundance, but your spiritual path, but you're okay on the Tower of Babel, or the tower, if you want to call it, for change and making things happen in the present. And it shows some part of you wants to travel. Now, the future has a blessed holy vow with a gentleman. I don't know why that would be, but I'm just telling you what I see, because usually that's like a marriage card, but something to do with abundance and marriage and a lot of love and change again for you. So you're going to go through change with a gentleman that is all about change and speed and moving forward. But there's one card up for completing what you've already started in the future. So I don't know who the man is, but it has to do with your future and abundance, but he seems to go forward. But that is in your future. But she wanted me to pull you one card. But that's just the short reading from the universe. So, gee, I'm not guessing whether you're married or not, but it looks good for abundance. Okay, well, that looks good for... well, good, because... Oh, good. Well, it looks really good. That seems to be working. All right. Now, this has to do with your willpower, the one, if you just pulled one card. Now, who in your life, I don't do astrology, but Suzanne does. I used to. But now everybody uses computers, but because it's more accurate, actually, with the way the skies are. But Leo the Lion, does that mean anything to you?
No.
Well, I guess maybe it has to do. It's called will. It's WILL, willpower, in pink.
It has to do with changes that come about in the time when we come into Leo this year, which isn't that far off, because Leo actually begins in the last few days of July, and then it takes us all the way through until almost the end of July, and then we go into Virgo. But Leo is a great turning point for you. That's what that message is. It's in fire, and I love the purity of fire, and it's really a helpful tool. So 8 is also the number of death and rebirth, and it's an assistance process. It's a time when you'll be able to let go of the past and allow yourself to be fully reborn.
Well, I'm glad you're helping me, because that is amazing, because that way the two of us can learn this new deck together. Because I'm looking at it, but somebody else is going to have to interpret it. So that's good, Suzanne.
That coincides with another dream I had, so that was amazing.
Oh,
I mean, you don't know the dream, but it coincides with the information in that dream, so that was amazing.
Wow. Oh, that's wonderful. You know, the best part of talking with you is how open and receptive you are, and how quickly you metabolize information, you make sense of it, and then you apply it, and you tell me how it works for you. It gives me such joy. Yeah, it really does.
I wish everybody was that way.
Me too.
Make our job a lot easier. But that shows my class in this reality is my mission is to bring people together in community, but also to do serendipity and synchronicity. So, you know, have a good time, meet good people. But, Suzanne, you brought on, like last time we were so full we didn't get to everybody. I don't know if that turned everybody off this time. But it's like feast or famine. We had over 30 to 50 people. We couldn't get to 15 or 20. Or maybe we got to 30. I don't know. We'd have to go back and count them and listen. But this time was only a few, but a lot of your friends and followers tuned in. So it worked out really good, because we've only got 3 minutes left. We've almost filled our full 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Well, Sharon, can I tell you thank you so much? And thank you doesn't really cover it, because you have no idea what you bring. It's a gift when you come and you join in and you're open and you're receptive. It's just a lovely gift. I appreciate it so much.
Why do all your people feel like a part of a big team? They really do, because you've been working with them for years. What's up with that?
No, she's just an amazing person. I just love talking to her. She's just amazing.
Wow, that is cool.
I love talking with you.
I just met her not very long ago. So.
Yeah.
Whoa.
New friends.
I thought y'all known each other forever. That's weird, Suzanne. So you do that naturally. That's your gift. So you're getting to be a networker. She's going to be a networker, Suzanne. I mean, you are maybe. Wow, this is amazing to me. Well, folks, I go back and listen to these, and I learn a lot, and I take notes. But they'll be here. My shows have been here for 8 years, but. If you're on it, go back and listen, and then you can come back a year from now, like Facebook, but you can come back and go, wow, look where I was. And then you can let us know, come back on and tell us if it happened. But used to, Suzanne, when I did used to do readings a lot, I would have people call me for a year reading for the whole year, one per month, right? But you just do it. And I don't know how you do the readings you do, but I like them. They're very uplifting.
Oh, you're very you make it real easy for me. And Sharon is a great conversation with psychics. She doesn't really understand that, but she's a person who helps people, she operates like a mirror. She holds like this mirroring energy up to you, and your energy moves more quickly and more efficiently. And then she understands what you're saying to her, and so she receives it. And that feeling of that circle being complete so quickly, like a lot of people can't move that fast, but she moves very rapidly. It's just a lovely moment to work in. It's like grace.
Have you done her reading? Is she like a basket, like you did for me?
I don't know. I really don't. She's really a new friend. She's truly somebody who's totally. She's very new. I've had some great conversations with her. But this is the first time I've done something for her where I've done a dream. But no, I've just been talking with her and listening to her life. and she's been listening to mine. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
all right. Well, we all got a part, right? We're all playing a part in each other's lives. If not, it's some expensive placeholders. Our lives.
I
like you, Sharon.
I always
Go ahead.
enjoy your card readings too, Theresa.
You do?
What's that?
Oh yes, I always enjoy them.
Wow.
I listen and I enjoy.
Oh wow.
Have you always been here? What am I missing?
I've listened to about 3 of your shows. That's all.
Oh, is this recently since Suzanne's been on?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Because I was like, oh, my God, I've read a bunch of Sharon's. Why aren't you sticking? I thought I noticed your voice, but you sound like my friend Anna from New York. That might have been the first one you came on. But doesn't she have that energy, Suzanne? Remember Anna from New York? I had 2 of them on the same night. One was brand new, and one had been with me forever. Like
I
she said.
remember that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sharon has a remarkable memory. She has lovely social skills, and she's definitely a person who she's like really very good with technology, and she's very fluid. It's very effortless to do anything with her. It's effortless. It's lovely.
Wow. Well, let us know if you have any time to come back.
Isn't that the
yeah, you
truth?
never know. Well, yeah, because
Right.
weekly, I mean, I wouldn't even mind if I could afford it to have somebody read me weekly. But even these mini readings, I mean, they're just a snapshot. But a lot can be said with the universe, you know, if it's talking to you. Everybody that I've ever read for, even mini readings, they always say they're pretty accurate, which I don't get, but that's okay. I don't have to understand it. But I did put a lot of training, and so I feel like we all have the talent, and then, you know, we all train. But I didn't master all the skills, you know, so I don't know. But Sharon's bringing me back to, I guess, this was my roots. I think my children always remember tarot cards. I didn't realize I was doing it in the 70s. I thought I started in the 80s. But they were like, Mom, no, we grew up. Y'all, and they knew everyone, you know, what they were, a hermit or whatever from one card. They knew, and I was like, really? So I didn't realize in the 70s I was reading cards. So how can you forget that? And, you know, how can you forget you read cards? But I did.
Well,
I forgot.
You did other stuff. You did so many other things. You have forgotten more than most people have ever lived. So, yes, that is quite fortunate. So I'm gonna unplug.
And
here
I thought it was
Sharon.
just Alzheimer's.
No, it's not. It's not Alzheimer's. It's not. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, my doctor swears I don't have Alzheimer's. So I'm like, if you say so.
Yeah, Sharon,
you're the
anytime you want to come back, you just add a lot. You really do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and if I see you guys hold, Sharon, I'm not writing the numbers down. I never have for 8 years. So if, you know, and I don't recognize numbers, but sometimes I remember voices, you know, or if I'm thinking about somebody, I can sort of, I have learned to evoke, which we all do with radio telephone, right? We play radio telephone. Right. We'll send it through the airs, and then somebody will call you, especially if you're close to them, you know, your mother, your sister.
So, you can actually say, oh, that's
thank you, Sharon.
Yeah.
That was sweet of Sharon.
All right, good night.
Sharon, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's see. It's just me and you now. But why are all these numbers on? Okay. No, she went off. Okay. Now there's just me and you. That's it. Okay. And then the studio. All right. I guess that's the end of the show then. We did good. And it's funny how it went because every time I write it different. But I think I'll go back and put the ACO Ascension Psychic Oracles again. Do you like that or no? Or you want me to just put Psychic Channel Network, or you don't care? What it is in radio, the people that do the syndicating, they like me to change the name up each time, and the series, it can be the same series, and I have to number the episodes, but I've got an automatic number set up in the computer, but I have to change the name every time. If you wonder why, it's never the same name, right? And now you can't hear me? That's weird. So we're off? Well, I can't hear you, Sharon, so call me. All right. Thank you, everybody. We really enjoy people. And now I'm echoing this. All right. Well, we'll see you next